Hi guys, welcome back to the Vortex. This is Ellie, and we are going to be focusing on finishing up fantasy level 3, and then we're going to move on to fantasy level 4 because reality level 4 is already finished. So, today I'm going to be talking about how we incorporate our UV writing into our level design and how we use it to guide our players. So here we are. I've already put a couple of arrows, as you can see here, and I've created a little object, game object, called UV writing, in which I've put all of the arrows underneath to make it easier for me later on. So, let's get started. This is the level so far. So it's the full maze, and I am just going to use this UV writing in order to help guide the player. So because we have this maze here, and this part of the maze is inaccessible, which allows you or the player to exit, we are adding these UV writings in order to help them understand that you have to jump over this wall. And we have chosen to do this because then it allows the player, or it allows us and the player, to incorporate all of the mechanics that we have already given the player, so they can practice their skills more as it gets progressively more difficult. So, where else should I put a UV writing? Probably here, just to let them know that we are using UV writing. Now, we are going to rotate this. Actually, let's just put it at 0. Cool. Okay, aligned. Let's move it further down so the player can actually see. And then it needs to go a little bit further out. This is only in case they use it in this area. I don't necessarily believe that they will, but you never know. Okay, cool. Scooch it over here. We want to mislead them a little bit. Can't have it be too easy, just telling them exactly where to go. Okay, now this, we do need to rotate in the other direction. Perfect. Now, there will be something here that the player needs to pick up. So, actually maybe I shouldn't put it there. Let's do this. Let's delete this. We're going to take this arrow, duplicate that, scooch it over here, and we're going to rotate it so that it points that way. And that's almost at 0. Actually, I'll just put it at 0. Perfect. But we're going to do that so that they're right next to each other, so it's easier to see. Now there will also be something over here. So one here, one there, one here. I'm gonna add the crate quickly. Where is our crate? Ooh, maybe we could do something with a chest. I will speak to my partners about this, but for now, we're gonna stick you in there. Probably move you around later, but let's create an empty parent and then stick that in here. We're going to rename this to chest, because then we can move the entire thing together. Maybe I should put a stump here instead of this. I think that would be better. Tree stump. Okay, tree stump. And now where is the crate? There it is. Box. Okay, let's move you up. We're going to make you smaller, and we're going to move you onto this side. I think here would be a better place for you. Now we're going to go to the materials, and we're going to drag and drop. Another way to change this, to change the material of an object, is to press on the object. In the mesh renderer, you have element here, material. You can also drag and drop like that, and then boom. So now with this, I believe that should be fine in order to jump over. Actually, let's move you down to the ground though. Should be okay. We'll have to do some play testing to double check, but should be fine. So check that it does. Does it have a collider though? That one also doesn't have a collider. Let's fix that. Mesh collider, and this one as well. This one I think we can do a box collider. Okay. Now, this bad boy. Let's do the same thing, drag and drop the material. Now, let's just align you properly. Actually, it might be easier for the player if it's just a little bit open, so you can see what's inside. And then I'll talk to Fran about the movement of this, because then we can just have the player push off the top. Well, I leave you there. This area is a bit crowded. Let's scoot you here, a branch, so that the player can still move through this area. Let's actually duplicate this because I like it. We're gonna stick you here. You can jump over that. Okay, now back to the UV writing. We have UV writing here, 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 here. On the other side of this, over here, these walls. And I think we should add some going this way too. So we're gonna do it on this side. Now, there we go. This arrow will not only be pointing to the box, but also this side. Because again, you do need to get over. So maybe as a second resort, in case they can't, or they don't get all of the objects in one, should put in one go. Put that there, and now let's find the table. Maybe I don't want that table actually, maybe I want the desk. I think I want the desk that's over here. Let's duplicate that, and scoot you all the way over. Cool. Are these the same size? That might be a little difficult. Let's make you a smaller one. There we go. And because let's stick you there. So you have to do a little bit of hopping. One, you move that one there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. We're going to stick one there. Maybe here would be good. Okay. Scoot you down. There. What do you guys think I should do? Should I make all of the walls higher, like have a second level? Or do you like this look where there's only double walls in the perimeter? I also still haven't done it for this area, but I think that's okay because I would prefer the player to see more of the environment and there's not too much of an area for them to explore here. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Oops. Because I would like to know. I've just been informed that my chats are off. Let me see how I can fix this. Does this work? Now, what is going on with this chat? This is unfortunate, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know why the chat is not working. Okay, well, unfortunately I can't figure it out, so I will make sure I figure it out for the next stream. Alright, well, let's continue. Please leave your comments down below when we upload the video, or make sure to message us on Instagram. Our Instagram name is vortex_studios, I believe. So since we're working on this puzzle platformer, I wanted to talk about a few of my favorite games. And my favorite type of game is puzzle platformer. So it works out very well. I'd recently been playing Ori Will of the Wisps and Hollow Knight, which are very similar puzzle platformers. Let's not put that one there. I also love co-op games, so like It Takes Two, and I really want to try the Star Wars Lego co-op. What else? I tried playing High on Life. I am not very good with FPS. I will be 100% honest. It's like a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, but it's still, or I still enjoyed playing it. Like Call of Duty is not my thing. I also personally gravitate towards games that are not as realistically graphic, if that makes sense. Like, I do prefer this type of animation. So like you see here in the fantasy level. Yeah. Okay, let's move that over there. I'm not sure why I gravitate towards those types of games. I think potentially, well, I mostly play games to feel comfort, but also more relaxed. So I don't love to feel that sort of stress when I'm playing the game. Of course, there's adrenaline, but this like mass panic stress, that is not a feeling that I seek when playing games. Okay, well, I think that's all of the arrows. Oh, actually, there's one here. Let's rotate you. Anyways, back to the favorite games though. Ori Will of the Wisps has definitely become a favorite. It's really cute. It's a puzzle platformer, like I said, and it's a story about this owl, which I'm pretty sure the owl is named Ori, and this little axolotl meets Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon is the character that the player uses. And so it is quite narrative driven in the beginning, but then the narrative sort of dissipates and you have your goal. You understand what the point of the game is, and you are supposed to make your way back to Ori. I don't want to spoil the game too much or the narrative of it because the opening scene was beautiful, so I'm gonna leave it there. Actually, another one of my favorite games, which is a lot more narrative driven, was What Remains of Edith Finch. That was a beautiful story. I really enjoyed it, and the nature aspect, like all of the graphics were just beautiful, and the way they went together, like you still had a lot of freedom as a player. Like I felt I still had a lot of freedom as the player, even though it was mostly, again, narrative driven and story led in that sense, where you would go from room to room or place to place, and then the voice would start talking and explaining the story to you. Although there were moments where obviously the player couldn't move around because you needed to hear this part of the story, I never felt restricted in any way. UV objects, we're just going to attach the script, and now we're going to go to, where's the player capsule? We're just going to search because there's too many. Here we are. Now UV hidden objects. Add. We're going to just change this number to 9 because I'm not quite sure how many we have. And we're going to drag and drop. So yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch was a really good game. I also absolutely loved Gris, or Gris. It is also a puzzle platformer, and it focuses on this little girl named Gris. Actually, I'm not sure if her name is Gris. It never says in terms of narrative, but Gris is gray in French, and as you progress and as you move through the narrative and the levels, the areas, you unlock new colors. So I thought that was absolutely beautiful, and it was really interesting that they used color as a mechanic or as a way to show the progression. And so even, like, I've played it all the way through, but even now I still don't have all of the colors, which is really unfortunate. So I actually do want to go back and play it again. But I had so much fun. Go back to player capsule. I have 4. So yeah, okay. This is a little bit of busy work, but it needs to be done. Did I just put 9? Yeah. Now, I always like to leave one extra element here because it says none, so I'm allowed to attach whatever. However, if I didn't do that and I just stopped at arrow 14 and I press another one, the element 15 would also automatically already be attached to arrow number 15. 14? Can't do math. It's okay. We move on. So, now fantasy level 3 is finished. Let's go to fantasy level 4, just to give you a little snippet of it before we head off. But back to my favorite games. Those are my favorite games, and I highly recommend them, especially if you like puzzle platformers and a little bit more narrative-based games. I feel like the way that these game developers portrayed and communicated with the player was very beautiful, and it really pulled at ethos, which was wonderful. Like, What Remains of Edith Finch was specifically about a little girl exploring her old family home, in which she hadn't explored in a long time, or she hadn't been there since a family member passed away, and you find out what happened to all of her family members. I will leave it there so that when and if you guys decide to play this game, you are getting to experience it for the first time in a first-hand way. So no spoilers. I don't want to be that person. But also put down below in the comments what your favorite games are, or if you like puzzle platformers, if you have any recommendations, if there are any multiplayer games that you would like to see myself and the rest of the Vortex team play together. I feel like that'd be a great bonding activity, and you can you can see our gaming skills, how well we communicate with each other. I really wanted to do It Takes Two with the team, but obviously, as per the name, It Takes Two. It only takes two, which means that we cannot play in a team of, actually, how many are we? Over 5. So that's unfortunate. All right. Well, this is the small little snippet that I'm going to give you for, this is still the in, here we are, for the current state of fantasy level 4, but it will change, don't you worry. And we'll have a lot more fun puzzles for you guys to rack your brains over. Okay, well, thank you again for joining the Vortex. It was very nice. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Bye! Until next week.